All right, so if you look at my tanks, you're gonna notice right off the bat, things look different. I switched back to regular sponge filters. I did have the double sponge filters for 9 months. I actually made a video of when I put them in my tanks. Before that, if I'm not mistaken, I had tried UGF boxes, which also just didn't work out for me. And guys, when I say they didn't work out for me, I don't mean they wouldn't filter the water. To me, it means that I always have to mess with them. I hate messing with them. You guys know I'm a father of 2 kids under 6 actually, so I stay busy. I have a full-time job, business owner. I've got so many things going on. So the last thing I want to do is have to worry about something not working. Even if it's the slightest inconvenience, I switch things around. And so what happened with the double sponge filters was that 9 months in, 9 months after installing them, the suction cups just kept messing up. I tried looking for replacements. I tried looking for alternatives as well, like magnets. Now, and the price, I just couldn't justify the price. Every magnet was like 15 bucks. If you add that, that's $180, $150, I think, just to do that in this in this whole rack. And so that was one thing. Number two, also, the main thing was that you guys saw I set up my airline system up there. For whatever reason, I have 2 Paul-Fly pumps down there, and they're able to power these with no issue. But the double sponge filters, I had so many damn problems with them. I just could never get the flow right. And these tanks down here always got less flow, no matter how much I cranked them up, how much I messed with them. So the only other option I was already looking into before I just, I think my wife mentioned it. She's like, why don't you just try different filters? Because I had, what before, okay, so let's go back. Before I had double sponge filters, I had regular sponge filters. Before I had UGS, I had regular sponge filters. And I had one Tetra Whisper 100 rated for 100 gallons, powering all 12 sponge filters, one pump. So now I had 2 Paul-Flies that are bigger, they're about 40 bucks each, and they couldn't run the 12 sponge filters. And so throughout the whole 9 months, I kept having to mess with them. I kept having to mess with them. It was just super annoying to keep doing that. And then not only that, I had that going on, and then the suction cups, things just falling off. I would walk in and one of them would just be laying on the floor. And so it was really, really annoying for me to keep doing that. And so when I tell you guys it didn't work out for me, it's not necessarily that it didn't filter the water, because it still does that. And I actually really love the idea of them having a media compartment, right? But because of that, I looked into it about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, probably the last time I made a video. I bought these Aquarium Co-op sponge filters, and you guys can see I've got one in each tank. And at first I actually didn't have this outlet on there, but the flow was kind of crazy up here. And so what I did was I added it, I trimmed it down a bit, because otherwise it's kind of high. I trimmed it down a bit with a table saw outside, and that's the type of flow I'm getting now. You guys can see flow is pretty great on every single tank. And so I've had them running for about a month and a half. What I did was I put them in there when I reset the tanks. So that's another thing I'm going to talk to you guys about. When I reset the tanks, I caught all the shrimp and I put them down there, because I haven't reset those yet, into some holding nets. And so what I did, I just held them there, the entire colonies. I just put them there. I reset one tank a day, completely reset it, put this filter on, but I also had the double sponge filter up here for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then that's the one that I kept squeezing, because that had all the beneficial bacteria in it. And it was only after like a month or so that I took it out, maybe 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. Then I took it out. So that's what the process was like, more or less. But now that I was able to do that, I was able to move some shrimp around and, get some other ones. My blue boats were down in the bottom rack. I have them up here now. And you know, something about my tanks is like, even though they're just 10-gallon tanks, you can never see an abundance of shrimp. Each tank has a bunch of shrimp. This one probably has 40 or 50. This one has about 100 shrimp in there with a ton of babies. Some almost reaching juvie size, right? 30 or 40. And you can see them, but you know, hopefully my thought process to resetting them during wintertime, I'm gonna hold off on those for another month or so. But my thought process was I want them to get nice and mature. I haven't lost a single shrimp throughout this process. I want them to get nice and mature for springtime. When springtime comes around, my pH right now, I reset it with ADA Amazonia Gold. I'm using the powder version mixed with ADA version 2. And so even with it being mixed, both ADAs, I'm getting 5.1 pH right now. pH is extremely low, so I'm thinking springtime comes around, I'm gonna be pumping out so many babies throughout these tanks right here. I did add some two new shrimp, purple metallics, red purple metallics. So I'm pretty excited about them. I've got my Nanashis down there, my advanced Nanashi, my pure red lines, and red fancy tigers, black fancy tigers. I did upgrade my black fancy tiger colony as well. Let's see if I can give you guys some better looks. Let me see. Yeah, some real stunners. I spent quite a bit of money on them, but that's what's going on here in the shrimp room. I've got a few more stuff that I'm gonna keep up with. I've had so many ideas. I did want to tell you guys, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I've created a broadcast group. That broadcast group is where I update as much as possible. That's where it's kind of like my own way of like tweeting stuff out, right? I'm letting my followers know. It's a special group. Let everybody know what's going on. They get a few more pictures than anybody else would get. And this is what it looks like now. I'm pretty excited. Everything, I mean, nice and simple. Just hella moss, some lubao. I'm still using lubao, and the shrimp seem to like it. It's just something to keep them busy, keep them eating something for now. But yeah, that's what it looks like. If you guys have any questions about anything I told you guys today, put it down in the comments. I will get back to you. And if you have further questions and you want to ask me anything about what I said, just DM me on Instagram. I'm really active on Instagram, so I'll get back to you guys. And as always, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys for watching.